Hey guys, it's me again. Today I'm going to be doing the second part of my manga collection video. And I'm a little concerned because right as I started recording, something just fell on my finger from out of nowhere. So I don't know what that was or where it came from, but hey, who knows, maybe some more stuff will happen in the video. That'd be interesting to say the least. But anyway, let's get started with this. It's going to be really long again, probably, so sorry if you don't like the longer videos. It's just, I'd rather have this be like a 3-part series rather than like a 10-part series. So yeah, let's get started. And we're actually going to be starting off this video with one of my favorite manga series of all time, a highly underrated one. No one ever talks about it, but they totally should, and that is Not Lives. Now, this series is about this girl right here. Her name's Amamiya Kyoka, and there's this guy, what's his name? Mikami Shigeru, and so they're part of this game. They end up playing this game. It's more than just a normal game, though, so what it is it's called, oh, I don't remember the name of it. I don't know. I can probably find it right here. I haven't read this in a while. It's yeah, Not Alive. Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't too sure. But anyway, what the game is well, there's teams in this game. Man, I cannot talk today, but there are teams in this game, and each team is comprised of 2 people, an avatar and a player. So in this case, Amamiya right here is the avatar, and Mikami is the player, which means when they're in the game, he's like inside of her and he controls her. And basically what they have to do is they have to try to kill other teams. And this is kind of like, well, this isn't like Sword Art Online, so don't take that from this, but it is similar in the sense that if you die in the game, you die in real life. So you really don't want to die, unless maybe you do, but I would hope you don't. And in this case, they don't. And if you win, I don't know if I think I showed the back of this, but in case I didn't, but if you win the game though, and if you win the game, there's a lot of complicated stuff you have to do. I don't remember most of it, but if you win the game, they grant you 1 wish, anything, and you get that. So there's obviously a lot of people that play this game, but if you don't play the game, if you haven't played it or anything, then you don't know about it. Only people who play it know about it. And yeah, it gets really intense at times because of the whole, if you die in the game thing, you die in real life. So there's a lot of moments where, like during fights, they do a good way at making you really anxious about what's going to happen and stuff, without making it too over the top to the point where you don't want to read it because you're scared that someone you love is going to die. So yeah, this series does a great job with all that. I do really love this series. It's a little lewd, so if you're not too big on lewd stuff, maybe stay away from this, because while it wouldn't be considered ecchi, I don't believe, you do still see parts of her that good little kids shouldn't be seeing, so definitely keep that in mind. But other than that, hey, if you don't mind that, which I really don't, because it's anime and manga, you've got to expect that, but if you don't mind that, this series is definitely worth your time. It's been finished for a while now. I remember I actually got to pre-order the last volume, and I was really sad that it ended, just because that's how good it is. But, you know, I guess I'd be sad if most series that I'm reading ended, though, even if they weren't that good. But this one is that good, so that's why it was even more sad that it was ending. But, you know, I do feel like they did a really good job with the conclusion in this one. It wasn't too open-ended, it wasn't too just not good, because I know a lot of times when you try to end a series, I know there's a lot of pressure because you don't want to screw it up, so I know a lot of times that leads to people having bad series finales, but no, I think this one was actually a pretty good one. And this last volume here, you can tell they really wanted to try hard to end the series really well, because here's how thick that is next to a normal volume of the series. You can't really tell on camera too much, but this last volume is a lot thicker. It's almost the size of 2. It's probably like 1.5, so they definitely put in a lot of effort to ending it a good way, and I think they succeeded very much in that way. So anyway, now I'm gonna try to pull out another series here. If you watched my last manga collection video that I uploaded like a week ago, you understand that the way I have my manga stored is very complicated, and if I screw up even one small thing, I'm not getting them back where they came from. And I can't even pull out my series right now that I'm trying to get, so there's that too. Okay, here we go, here we go. I'm making progress, guys. I'm making progress. Okay, here we go. This is another series that I really love. Before I started reading Ray Zero, this was probably my favorite, just because it's really good. It was one of my first manga series as well. I think it was my third, actually, because I started reading Hunter x Hunter, and then one day my mom was like, hey, if you want to find a couple of manga, or, well, I don't think she said manga, I don't think she knew the word, but she told me if I wanted to find a couple on Amazon, go for it. This was a few years back. I was like, okay, I'll do that. And I ended up getting this and one other, but this one is Tokyo Ghoul. This series, it takes place in a world where there are these people called ghouls, and, they're just like normal humans, for the most part, except for the fact that they eat normal humans, so obviously that's highly frowned upon, but they have to do it, otherwise they die. So, yeah, I mean, if I don't know, I was going to say, if I had to either eat another human or die, I think it would be obvious what I picked. I don't know what I'd pick. I don't want to think about that, actually. So, yeah, let's just not think about that. That's a little weird. So, but yeah, so the ghouls, people don't typically like the ghouls, because if people went around eating my friends and family, I don't think I'd like them too much either, so. But this guy right here, not this person, this guy right here, his name's Ken Kaneki. One day he gets involved in an accident, and he becomes a ghoul. So he has to adjust to his new life as a ghoul, and for obvious reasons, that's pretty rough. I mean, if one day I was told, hey, you're gonna be hated by everyone in society. Here, I'm just gonna try to fix my tripod. Ignore that. There we go. Technical difficulties here. But if I was told, hey, society's gonna try to kill you, you have to eat people, you can't tell anyone about this, all that crazy stuff, I don't think I'd be too thrilled either. So, yeah, I can definitely understand why that's rough. And sorry about this, I'm just really trying to get this to be good. Okay, that looks better. And, he has to try to keep it a secret from everyone he's known in his life, so there's all that. And then there's also this one group of people, it's an association, and they go around trying to hunt and kill ghouls, because they don't like that they eat people. So it does a great job with this series. They do a great job at making you like not only the ghouls, but the association that I can't currently remember the name of that hunts ghouls. So it's always interesting when they fight. Oh, the CCG, that's what it is, I see right there. But it's always interesting seeing fights between the ghouls and the CCG, because you don't want anyone to die, You've grown attached to everyone on both sides. So it's like, if anyone dies, it's sad, even though they're enemies. So, yeah, they do a great job at that. I don't like that too much, just because I don't like when characters I start to like in a series are dying. Maybe that's just me. Maybe everyone else likes when people they care about die. I don't know. But I think that's a pretty universal thing, that's sad. So fortunately, that doesn't happen too much, that people die. Not that I remember, at least. Maybe this is a dark series, so I wouldn't put it past them. I just don't remember a whole lot about that stuff, but I do actually also have the first volume of, there's a continuation of this series called Tokyo Ghoul Re. That's another manga series. I'll pull that out right now just to get that out of the way, because I have to show it at some point, so why not now? There that is, that's Tokyo Ghoul Re. This is a series that takes place after the events of Tokyo Ghoul, I believe. And I remember when I had gotten caught up on Tokyo Ghoul, I was super excited. I was like, okay, I can't wait to get the next volume. No, there was no next volume. But there was Tokyo Ghoul Re, so in a way there kind of was, so it wasn't too bad. So it only took me a couple years, but I did end up getting Tokyo Ghoul Re. I actually got that a couple months back from my local anime and manga store, so that was really cool. And I don't know what happened to the spine. Oh my gosh, the spine's ripping and... What happened to this? Oh my gosh. That's terrible. I have no idea what happened. I've never seen that before in any of my manga. I take good care of these. So, somehow that happened, I guess. And another thing with this series is these covers, if you haven't noticed by now, the covers on these, both on the front sides and the back, are just beautiful. They are so cool looking, and I just love them. I love the covers on this. And they also, unlike a lot of manga, most manga seem to have like a glossy finish on their covers. No, this one's all like matte and not shiny whatsoever. So that's kind of nice too, that's cool. And I remember when I first got this series, I couldn't believe how big the books were, because there's a few different sizes that manga are, it seems. There's like one size that, I think it's a lot of series like My Hero Academia, One Punch Man, Seven Deadly Sins, Hunter x Hunter. Those are all like one similar size. And then you have stuff like this, that's this bigger size. And I had never seen this bigger size before, so I couldn't believe how huge these were. But, you know, now I've gotten kind of used to it, because I have a lot of series that are like this now. And yeah, that thing made me sad when I saw that final volume. But again, definitely a very good series. I'm sure most of you watching this have at least heard of Tokyo Ghoul if you haven't seen it. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put it all back on my bookshelf. Wish me luck with that. I'll just pause the video here because it's gonna take me a while to put this back on, and then I'll be right back. Okay, up next I have a couple series that were just on top of Tokyo Ghoul the way I had them set up, so I'm going to show you those. And with both of these, I only have the first volume. The first of those is Death Note Volume 1, and the cool thing about this, there's a couple cool things actually. First, there's the back, and the first cool thing is it has this cool little cover for it that you can take off, so that's awesome. And there that is without it. And the other really cool thing about this is it's in Japanese. So this is one of like 4 or 5 Japanese manga that I own. And obviously I didn't get volume 2 because I got this one just to see how much of it I could read, and kind of as a goal, because I am learning Japanese. I have been for a while now. And I get these Japanese manga kind of like as a goal to set for myself to eventually someday be able to read them. So hopefully someday I'll be able to read this. But I guess I'll give you guys a brief synopsis of this series, because I have seen the whole anime. It's about this guy right here. His name's Light Yagami, and one day he finds this little book called a Death Note. And what it is if you write someone's name in it, they die. You can write in it how they die, when they die, all that. You control all of it. If you don't write anything, they die of a heart attack. But it was dropped onto Earth by this guy right here named Ryuk. He's a Shinigami, which is kind of like a thing in this world that kills people because they own the Death Notes. And he dropped his on Earth, Light got it, and you know, you slowly see Light starts to go insane from it, because having the power to kill anyone and everyone however you want will drive most people to be insane, I'm sure. And people in the world start to notice, hey, people are dying a whole bunch out of nowhere. So people try to figure out what it is, and there's all sorts of great detectives, one of which is an awesome character named L. If you don't know who L is, I'm sorry for you. But the series gets really crazy and dark and weird towards the end. A lot goes on. I'm not going to say anything about that because it's kind of obvious after a while what's going to happen, but still a great series. It's on Netflix actually, so if you have Netflix, check it out on there. That's how I watched it, and it is really good. And then another manga I have right here. I only have volume 1 of this series because volume 2 is $60 on Amazon. And I don't know about you, but I don't feel like paying $60 for one manga volume, which sucks because it's a really good series. That series is Haganai, I Don't Have Many Friends. And from what I remember, forgive me if I screw some stuff up. Again, I've only read the first volume, and that was a while ago. From what I remember, I believe it's about this girl here, and she doesn't have many friends, so she and a couple other people from her school form a club for people who don't have friends to try to get more friends. And it's really fun actually. It's a great series. If it wasn't for the steep price of the second volume, I definitely would have read more of this. I believe it has an anime, but if I start reading a manga before I watch the anime, I like to finish the manga first, Same way, if I start watching an anime before I start reading the manga, I like to finish the anime first. But who knows, maybe eventually I'll somehow get the second volume of this, and then I can read the rest. That would be really cool. But anyways, now I'm going to put all this stuff away now, because actually I don't have to do that yet. I already have another series that I can get out without screwing stuff up in my storage. Because, man, I wish you guys could just see how I have these stored. This is just the most inconvenient, most complicated way. And I'm looking at how much storage space I have left. This might have to be a 4-part series. But anyway, the next series, if you're not familiar with this series, I am shocked. This series is everywhere online. If you like anime, you like this series, for the most part. That series is One Punch Man. An absolute classic in the eyes of most otakus, weebs, and weeaboos. And even just normal people who like cartoons and happen to stumble across this. I've never met anyone who didn't like it, and that's good, because it's an amazing series. It's about this guy, his name's Saitama, he's right here, and he's a hero for fun. He trained so hard to get so strong because he wanted to become the world's strongest man. He lost all of his hair, and now he's just a hero for fun. He has a sidekick who is a cyborg. His name is Genos, and yeah, the reason Saitama right here is called One Punch Man is because he can defeat anyone and anything with only one punch. So, yeah, pretty overpowered. They should totally add him to Smash Bros. That wouldn't be broken. But yeah, this series is so good. It recently got a season 2, finally. We had been waiting only for way longer than we were supposed to, because they said it was supposed to come out a while ago, a couple of times, and never did, but it's a great series. Actually, I believe it started out as a webcomic, and from there it got adapted into a manga and an anime. So, thank you, whoever made that webcomic. I can't remember their name. But, yeah, without them, we wouldn't have this iconic anime and manga series right here. And I actually had something I wanted to say, but I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah, I wanted to say, if you think about it, here, let me find a good picture of Saitama. I've got one somewhere on one of these manga, I'm sure. Okay, well, look at Saitama right here, okay? Tell me you don't think, maybe, this is a little unlikely, but who's to say that this isn't just Caillou in the future, you know? I mean, a bald guy who wears yellow and red? Yeah, that definitely sounds like Caillou to me, so who knows? Maybe Caillou either grew up to become Saitama, or he went into a coma and this is just his fantasies. My friends and I have theorized about this stuff way more than we should, just because, while it's highly unlikely, it is still hilarious to think that one of the strongest anime characters ever may in fact just be Caillou. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, my friends and I have no lives, but that's why I'm here, reading anime, watching manga, and making YouTube videos about reading anime and watching manga, because I have nothing to do with my life, so I do this stuff. But I'm not complaining. This is loads of fun. I love all the people who I've met through this, and I can't wait to continue doing it. And, you know, if this was all my life consisted of, was just this stuff, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because it's great. So, yeah, there's One Punch Man. Now I have to cut, so that way I can re-put all this stuff back on my shelf without screwing it up. So, again, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so here I have just a bunch of, well, I have 4 more random series, and then 1 kind of series. I mean, they're not all together in a sequential thing, but anyway, I'll start with the 4 individual ones. The first one up is the one that I got at the same time as Tokyo Ghoul, and this is another anime and manga that almost everyone's familiar with. That is Attack on Titan. Now, while I have only read the first volume of the manga, I have watched all of Season 1, part of Season 2, and that's about it, because I don't think the rest of it's on Netflix yet. Last I checked, it wasn't. Maybe it is now. I actually had to try to pirate the parts of Season 2 that I watched online, because I couldn't find it anywhere. So, that's always fun. But Attack on Titan takes place in a world where there are these things right here called Titans, and they are giant human-like things that eat people. So humanity has had to adapt to these things, and they have these cities that are surrounded by big walls to keep the Titans out. And then you have people like this who go around killing titans. And the main character, Aaron, his parents get eaten in the first one, so he can't really, because his city gets invaded and all that. So he has to kind of be on his own, and he goes off to join. I can't remember what the name of the group of people that kill titans is. I haven't watched the series in a long time or read it, but he joins them, and basically they go around trying to kill all titans and stuff. And eventually he finds out that he can become a titan, so that's cool. And yeah, this series is really great. It's got several video games, 3 or 4 seasons of anime now, a lot of manga, and yeah, it's a really great series. If you somehow haven't seen it, go check it out. Okay, so the next series here is Legends, another one that I only have 1 volume of. This is one that I picked up at my local used bookstore, so that's where I got this from. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember it's kind of like Pokemon in a sense that people collect these monsters and battle them, but it's all in this video game type thing that they have, so that's a cool one. It's interesting, but, you know, I just didn't read too much of it because I had so many other series I was reading already, and those ones were far more interesting and just, I don't know, but it is a good series, don't get me wrong, definitely check it out. And then one I have here, this is Mega Man NT Warrior, another one from my local used bookstore. I got this one solely because it was Mega Man, and when I was growing up I used to, well, I'm still growing up I guess, kind of, but when I was way younger I used to play Mega Man games a lot. I used to love Mega Man, so I definitely had to get that. And I'm not even going to try to describe what that's about because I don't remember, because I only read the first volume. And then here's a series right here I've actually heard a few people talk about before online. It's Rave Master. I wish I remembered more about this one. I don't remember too much. I don't even remember enough to tell you guys about it, but I do remember that it's amazing, and I should totally read more of this. This is a great series. It's really cool. And the fact that I haven't gotten more actually confuses me a bit. I remember I wanted to, I just don't know what happened there. I guess I never got around to it, but someday I would definitely like to get more of this. Oh, a Pokemon card fell out. I must have been using that as a bookmark whenever I read this a long time ago. So that's cool. But anyway, there's that series. Those are my 4 individual ones, and then now for these 3 that are related but not all part of one series. And the first one of those is The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. I own the game of this for my Game Boy, so that's cool. This is based on a video game. I'm not going to go too much into the synopsis because if you've played the game, it's like that. Otherwise, I don't know, it's just, you'd have to read it because I'm not going to try to explain to you a Zelda game. There's so much going on in Zelda games that would need a video in and of itself because those are some pretty big games, pretty good games. So if you haven't read this, read it. If you haven't played the game of this, play it. And then, continuing the trend of The Legend of Zelda, I have The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time Part 1. I got this one used, I believe, if you couldn't tell. It is a little worn out, but great manga series, great video game, one of the greatest games of all time. And that's not just me speaking and saying that. Most people that I've heard online or in person would agree that Ocarina of Time is one of the greatest video games of all time. It's definitely had one of the biggest impacts in gaming, so great game, great series. Just like Minish Cap, you should totally check this one out. Okay, well, now for, I think I have, here I've got another series. I only have 2 volumes of this one, so I'll get this one out of the way. And that, I thought I had 3 of this, but I guess I only have 2. And that is Yotsubato, and this is about a little girl right here. I think she's like 5 or 6, and she's just growing up, and it follows her life, and I haven't read a whole lot of it, mainly because I can't read a whole lot of it, because this is another one that's in Japanese. I read the first few pages. A lot of it was just me with my Japanese to English dictionary, translating stuff word by word, so not the most efficient way, but just like my other one, it has this, well, my other one didn't have this little thing here, but it does also have a cover like this that folds out, so you can pull that out. I should probably just put this stuff back on though, because it's better to keep that on. And then here's the back. This series, I'm sure, will be a lot of fun once I know more Japanese and can read more Japanese, so I definitely look forward to this series. And then here's volume 2 of that. I believe this is my only Japanese series, my only series that's in Japanese that I have more than one volume of, so that's cool. That's saying a lot. And I know that there's an English, I know there's an English manga. I don't know if there's an English anime, or not even English anime. I don't know if there's an anime. I'm not sure, but I do know there is definitely an English manga, so if you're interested in checking that out, but you can't read Japanese, get the English one. That's totally fine. And then on my last series for today's video, I guess I am making this 4 parts. I have a series that I read not too long ago, I'm all caught up on for now, but it's an amazing series, actually. I really love this one, and that is New Game. It's, let me find out her name, I don't remember. Oh, I think it's, yeah, Aoba. This girl right here, Aoba, she starts working at this video game company that she's always wanted to work at. And yeah, it's kind of like Slice of Life, but the characters make video games also, so it's a really good series. The characters in the series are really great. I love all the characters in it. It's a lot of fun. There are a couple somewhat lewd moments, so again, I always feel like I need to warn you guys about that, just because I know some people don't appreciate that. So I don't want you guys getting into this stuff not knowing that, because I'd hate to recommend you guys a series that has stuff like that without saying anything, and then you guys think I'm trying to get you to read hentai or something, because believe it or not, I don't want you guys to read hentai. And if you want to, go for it, I guess. I'm not going to try to stop you, but I definitely don't want to be the reason you read it. But anyway, this is a shorter series so far. I believe there's still stuff coming out. I know this has an anime. I actually have the OP of this anime as a beat map on Osu that I think I played that yesterday, actually. But yeah, this series is a lot of fun. I read most of this one in school, actually. And I definitely hope that there's a lot more of this series, because Volume 5 right here is the newest volume, I believe. There might be a Volume 6 that I'm not aware of. But if so, even then, that's only 6 volumes. So hopefully this series goes on for at least a while longer, because it's a great one, and I'd love to see more of it. But anyway, that's about all the time I have for now. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you guys next time.